Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It is Monday. I am streaming live right now from so far beautiful and slightly sunny San Francisco. It's supposed to rain all week, but you know, it is what it is. I think every time I come here, I bring the rain, which is not very exciting. But anyways, it's Monday. We're back with the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I hope you're all doing well. Those who are joining me on Behance, big good morning, big happy Monday. Hope you're enjoying this Monday. But a big hello and good morning to Kitya and Daniel, Kathleen and Carlos, and Selton and Ricardo, and Anurag and Ricardo again. Oh, hey, Ricardo again. Jason, sitting down. I am sitting down today. We have this is the first time I'm visiting our brand new desk. It's very nice. Oh, here it is. Look, it's GusBot running the show today. Look at that. Look at this green screen. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Howard bringing the pain, I mean rain, exactly. This is a nice desk. We could just talk about this desk the entire time. It's massive. But anyways, we have things to do. So this is day 5 of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. We kicked off last week. We were trying to, solve pain points in an e-commerce flow for a website. We started with a navigation bar. We went on to, what did we do? Let me actually hop over to my screen so I can actually show you all what we did. So here's the Daily Creative Challenge landing page, behance.net/Daily Creative Challenge. Yeah, Kathleen, GusBot is in charge like a boss, indeed. So if you haven't yet, click that big blue register button at the top. That way you're notified when we release new challenges every single morning at 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. And then you're going to be joining me bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Even on Mondays, it feels like a Monday. Does it feel like a Monday to all of you? It does to me. And then we're gonna be using Adobe XD to design and prototype whatever that challenge is going to be. And then you have until March 29th to complete everything. But not really. Like I mentioned in the past, we do these things to help build up your skills, maybe learn new skills, learn new applications like Adobe XD, and really build up a portfolio that clients are gonna like. So if you need a few extra days to really make this look fancy, take a few extra days to make it look fancy. I've seen some challenges come in even this week from like 2 challenges ago because people are still kind of polishing those up and it looks really nice. And if you're having trouble, Nancy, with some sound, make sure sometimes when you start playing, I don't know why I'm talking to Nancy if she can't hear anything, but there's a mute button somewhere. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Monday. That's the way it is. Grab XD for free. It's free, you can download it, it's great. And join us on Slack. So if I still can't get over the packet. Anyways, oh, Nancy got it. Now she can hear me. Hi, Nancy. I was talking to you when you couldn't hear anything. It's one of those mornings. It's great. Happy Monday. Slack. So I said on Friday that if we didn't hit 17,000 people by Monday, I wasn't coming in, but GusBot forced me to come in, so here we are. But we're almost at 17,000 people, and it's a great time. So we have announcement sections. You can catch the new, if you don't have notifications turned on, you can catch the new challenges every single day. We have a feedback section with a lot of people in there. If you want feedback, definitely throw it in there and ask for specific feedback, whether you want feedback on your navigation, the top products, whatever it might be. And then if you receive feedback, try to turn it around and give some feedback to others who might be looking for something, whatever. Words are hard on Monday mornings. And come in and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you do for a living. It's a good time. So what have we done so far? So last Tuesday, we started with a navigation bar. We moved on to marketing real estate, which really talks about some of the banner images. I still can't get over the fact that I spoke to, and it doesn't matter. It's Monday. Marketing images, so the banners at the top. And then we had the top products at the bottom. And then we went on to user support, so we use overlays. And I created like this little chat widget that pops up from the bottom of the screen. And then today, we're gonna be working on a purchase flow. So purchase flow can go in one of many, many ways. You can start by adding an add to cart button. You can start with a cart page and then move on to a checkout screen. So there's a lot you can possibly do. I'm gonna keep it fairly simple, and I encourage all of you as you're doing this challenge to really get super creative with it. Maybe add some animations using auto animate, or maybe add a few different screens, from adding to a cart, to the cart, and then to the purchase flow, and maybe even a confirmation screen. But I'm gonna keep it simple because I've been talking for a while and we only have about 20 minutes left. So I'm going to hop over to Adobe XD. And this file does look a little bit different than it did on Friday because I forgot my other file on my other computer at home. So, I had to redo it from scratch this morning. So here we are. This is kind of what it looked like on Friday. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, very quickly, I want to showcase a few designs that have come in over the weekend. Some of them were really cool. And if I mispronounce your name, I really apologize. Shriekkeek, I mispronounced it. I apologize. This one is really cool because I love that there's a little bit of a design system at the top showing some colors and character styles, and even the colors have little paws from dogs and stuff like that. I thought that was nice. Buttons and components, icons, low fidelity, high fidelity. I thought this was really cool. And then just the overall flow. He even jumped in and made a mobile design, which I thought was kind of fun. Nice images at the top. Really nice stuff. It's a great job. Next, Manader. I thought this one, the top products at the very top of this website, I thought was really cool because she didn't use the grid that we kind of showed on Friday. She really took the time to make additional images on, different sizes, some staff picks, mostly bought, and this subscribe now section in the middle, pet collection. I thought this looked really nice. And then we have Pet Pros. Johnny says, Adobe Evangelist not using Creative Cloud storage. Usually I do store my stuff in the cloud, but that one I didn't because I had too many versions of it, and versioning in Adobe XD is still in the works. So, problems, we'll solve them. This one's from Jason, who is in the chat. I saw Jason, there he is, Jason. This one looked really nice. Nice banner images at the top. Great colors, great components, live chat. Place it inside of a Mac Pro or iMac, whatever this is. And then some mock-ups, wires at the bottom. Great job. And then finally, we have Daniel, who put together this little video for the little chat widget that we created on Friday. Perfect. All right, so let's not waste more time, but make sure to use the keyword XD Daily Challenge when you are sharing these on Behance. So we're gonna create a very basic purchase flow. It's gonna be more of a checkout screen. And I'm gonna start by just duplicating this artboard. Command and Control D, and I'm just going to start deleting all this stuff in the middle because we probably don't need it. I will keep for now the little chat widget or the button that activates the widget because, when you're at the product checkout screen, you might have some questions about your shipping or whatever it might be. So we're gonna leave that there for now. So we're gonna start just by blocking out the structure of this page. And I'm gonna keep things very modular because we're gonna try to combine the cart with the shipping, and we're also going to add the purchasing, like the payment information, all on one page. So we're gonna do a little bit of a modular design. So we're gonna grab the rectangle tool and just draw one out, just like this across the page. We can always adjust this size later if we wanted to. I'll make it slightly gray, not too gray, and the border will be super subtle. Just like that. And if we want to get really fancy, we can add a very subtle drop shadow with a little bit of a border and drop the opacity. Harsh drop shadows just don't work, so very, very subtle. You don't want to go too crazy. I would argue you probably don't need a drop shadow, but I'm going to do one anyway because I want to. So next I'm going to grab some text right on top. This is going to be shopping cart. I can't see. I should make it a darker color, just like that. It's a little bit too big, but I'll grab that, drop it down. Perfect. All right. So in this section, we're basically going to have an item. We're going to have maybe the quantity, an image of the item, and then we'll probably have a price as well. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead. Which item should we put? We'll put this slabs pure meat. Why not? Because it looks delicious. I'm going to grab that. I'm just going to copy it, paste it over here, pop it right about there. And right on top, I want to just write out item, just so that the viewers and the users know what exactly this section is. This probably doesn't have to be super bold, maybe medium. I'll drop the opacity a touch like that. All right. It's coming along. I'm also going to grab this text layer and I'll just paste it over here. Because if you have elements across your document, you might as well use them, right? So I'll pop that. This one I'll definitely make a little bit bigger so the viewers can see exactly what they're buying. And then right underneath it, I might want to have something about the delivery. So this will be delivers April 1st. And this does not have to be bold. And I'll probably drop the opacity a little bit as well. So I can use the number, let's say the number 5 on my keyboard to just go straight to 50% opacity and make it a little bit smaller. Pop that there. I can select both of these and move them up or down, and the smart guides will let me know when it lines up with the image on the left-hand side. Perfect, great. Now over to the right, we're gonna have a price. We're also gonna have the quantity. So I'm gonna just add 2 more columns. This will be quantity, and we'll do price. Whoops, we'll do price over to the right. Price. Perfect. Now the price, I can actually just duplicate this text layer, and the price of this one was $8.99. $8.99. Beautiful. Make sure everything lines up really nicely, and you're noticing again those smart guides really help us line things up really nicely. So it's lined up on the right side. It's also lined up, there we go, perfectly in the center of those 2 text layers there. Right there. Somewhere right there we go. Got it. Okay, now for quantity, we're going to make it very easy because, you know, oftentimes I've landed on a shopping cart or a checkout screen and I want to change how many of this item that I have in my cart, but it's not easy. Sometimes you have to remove it completely and go back to the screen or the product page and then add them again. We want to make it very easy directly from this page to add new items to the cart, or at least increase the quantity. Hopefully the quality is good, but the quantity. So we're gonna have a little rectangle right here, or a square, just like that, holding down Shift to make sure it is a perfect square. And I'm gonna round out the borders just a tiny bit. So I can zoom in here, just grab these little corners, just round them out just a little bit. The border will be nice and subtle, but I do want a border. And then in the middle, I'm just gonna type out 1. And I will make this a little bit bold and a little bit larger. Perfect. Move that in the center. Yeah, it's a bit too large. There we go. All right. Now on either side, I basically want a plus button on one side and a minus button on the other. So I'm gonna drag this over, just gonna duplicate it, holding down Alt or Option. This will be plus, and I may want to use the blue of my navigation bar. So I'm gonna press I on my keyboard to get to my shortcut key for the eyedropper and simply click. Now I have a plus button over here. And on this side, I want a minus button, but I do not want, let me make a bigger minus button, but I do not want it to be blue because that indicates that something can be done in that situation. So as a user, I see the blue plus button. It tells me I can click on that blue plus button. But you probably don't want to be able to click on the minus button because that will remove it. But we want actually something else to remove it. So this will just be like if it's at 2, you'll be able to drop it down to 1. Now, of course, depending on your user experience, you may want that button to be clickable when there's 1, but you know, I'll leave that up to you. You get creative with it. I'll drop that down. Perfect, so now that we have this, I'm gonna make sure to group everything together. So I'm gonna select all these layers, holding down my Shift key, Command or Control G to group it, and this will be quantity. Perfect. All right, now maybe right underneath, you might wanna have remove. And this could be, we'll do regular because we don't want it too out there. And we might want it red to kind of warn people. If you press on this button, it's gonna remove. There we go. All right, so this is looking pretty good. I can adjust this to make sure we don't have too much padding above and below. And maybe actually below, we might wanna put a line going across here. And then below this, we'll have the total. Of course, this will factor in shipping and all that stuff. For now, I'm gonna leave it at $8.99, and then right above, I'll just put total. Make that a little bit smaller, not so bold, and I'll drop the opacity. All right, things are looking good. All right, so there's our first section. I do want to make sure that I grab all this stuff and actually put it inside of a group. So I'm just going to select all this stuff here, maybe minus the shopping cart text. All of this, Command and Control G, and this will be shopping cart. All right, so we got the first section, which allows users to remove an item. You can add an item, drop the quantity if there is more than one. You've got the price, the total, a little bit of information about the product on the left-hand side. Now we need two more sections that contains the shipping address and payment information. So I'm going to grab the rectangle in the back and just drop this downwards, move it out of the group. Yeah. Move it out of the group. There we go. And then just copy this as well. This will be, let's say, where should we send it? Just to get a little bit playful. There we go. Perfect. And for this information, we actually have over here, Marissa provided some shipping address information and payment method fields over here to the left. So I'm going to just grab some of this stuff. Let me grab the individual elements. Again, holding down Shift, copy, hop back over here, and paste them. Now, obviously, they're a little bit too small because we are working with a much bigger area. So there's two ways we can make these nice and large. We can either use responsive resize and just drag these out this way and then mess with constraints, or we can override responsive resize, holding down Shift, and then just enlarging like this. And then we can go ahead and make some additional changes like that. We can make sure that width is turned off and everything resizes really nicely. Perfect. All right, that looks good. We're gonna do one more down this way. Drop this down. And, oops. How would you like to pay? Make sure that lines up. There we go. Perfect. All right, now just like the other one, I'm gonna go over here, grab some of this stuff. Again, holding down Shift, making sure all this stuff is selected. Missed that one. And I could just select the entire, actually, you know what? Let me just do that. Why am I, because I move this out of the group, select this group, copy it. That's much easier. What am I doing? It's definitely a Monday morning. Pop that in there, make sure I'm on this artboard. Perfect. All right, and just like we did before, I'm gonna hold down my Shift key, make this larger, like that, and then turn off the width constraint and just enlarge this a little bit. I still have some stuff turned on. Let's see. Yeah, these ones still had width on. So I can turn width off and make these larger. Beautiful. Now at this point, there's definitely a little bit of constraint at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna move this downwards a little bit, double click on the artboard, make it a little bit larger, and just move this down so I have a little bit of extra room at the bottom. So now that things are looking pretty good, we need to add a checkout button. So I'm gonna grab my rectangle tool, just draw one out here. I will make this blue, so I'm gonna press I, click, there we go. Probably don't need a border, and then I'm gonna type some text, complete purchase. Whoa, purchase, there we go. Make sure this is nice and white. I do want this one bold because it is something that we want users to see and click on, hopefully, and make it nice and large. Here we go. And if you have any questions throughout this process, definitely throw them in. Hey, Paul, welcome. And Lee and everyone else who's just joining us live here on Behance. If you're just joining us, we are completing day 5 of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge, which is to, if I hop over here, simplify, it's to design a simplified purchase flow. And we're basically, combining everything in one. We have the shopping cart at the top, we have the shipping address information, and then we have payment information at the bottom. So everything is kind of in one screen. The user is very easily able to go through and add additional elements here or items, whatever it might be. And as more products are added, this will get a little bit larger. So there we go, we've got that. Everything's looking pretty good. I probably do want to go make go through and make sure everything is grouped. So I'm gonna go through here, just select all this information. And it's always a good idea to, as you're going through this process, to make sure things are grouped from the very beginning. It'll just keep your sanity in check. Make sure all this is grouped. This will be shipping. Perfect. And this stuff will be, great. This will be payment. Perfect. All right. There we go. So we've basically completed day number 5, and like I mentioned, I definitely encourage you to get super creative with this. You can even add, cart buttons on the repeat grid. So if I go in here, we've got the repeat grid that we created on Thursday, I want to say, using the Google Sheets plugin. If you didn't catch that stream, definitely go back. I believe that was day 3. That was really cool. After all the power failure goodness, using Google Sheets to create either a Google Sheet or a CSV and bringing all that information into Adobe XD is super beneficial. But the cool thing about repeat grids is that you can just jump into a repeat grid. And let's say I wanted to add a add to cart button directly on this grid. So I can just make these bigger a little bit. Jump in here, add a button right across the bottom, just like that. We'll make it nice and blue, just like, whoops, just like everything else. Boop, there we go. Increase the opacity. Probably don't need a border. Do we want rounded corners? Let me know in the chat if you like rounded corners or sharp corners. We do have a little bit of a rounded corner on the bottom here, but I don't know if it really goes with this. But I'll keep it round for now, and we'll see what that looks like. Add to cart. And you're noticing as I'm doing this, it's updating on all the repeat grids, which is super cool. I can leave it here. I can leave it to the left. I don't know if I want left justified or center justified. Let's see. I don't know. Let me make this a little bit smaller. That's not too bad. Who likes round? Round, round, please. Round, round. All right, round. I guess I'm going round. Okay. Now, do we want super round or just a little bit round? Yeah, that kind of looks nice. All right. So there we go. So now we have the add to cart button. So what we can do now, even though it's a repeat grid and it's technically one element on the surface, it's actually made up of a lot of different elements. So no matter which one you go to, you can grab all the different pieces. So from the prototype mode, I can press the add to cart button for the slabs pure meat, drag this handle over here to the right. This will be a tap trigger. We're gonna do a little bit of prototyping. We probably don't want auto animate because the elements don't exist on both artboards, and it would just be an absolute mess. And on the web, you don't have very much animated transitions, so we're not gonna worry too much about that. We're gonna do a simple transition, and the destination is already set. We'll just do no animation. We're just gonna cut to the next screen, and then preserve scroll, sure. Press play, and then we can scroll down to see what we're working with, press add to cart, and it takes us directly to the cart where we can complete our purchase. Now I am noticing we did use the rounded corners over here, so you know what, let's jump in here and also use rounded corners. Great. And now that this is wired up to another artboard, we can go to the share button, and we can share for review or share for development if we are working with developers. And we'll just name this, I don't think we have a name for this landing page, but I'll just name it Pet Store. I do want to allow comments. I do want to show hotspot hints and show navigation controls. And I'm going to go ahead and create the link. So this will allow me to share this with basically, any client I might be working with, friends, family, coworkers, whatever. And once this is finished, I can copy the embed code right here at the top. If I zoom in, copy the embed code right there. That'll allow me to paste it directly on Behance. I can copy the link, or I can open it in the browser. And if I do that, here is, there we go. There's my landing page, just like it was in Adobe XD. And if I don't know where exactly to click, I can click anywhere on the screen, see that the add to cart button is highlighting, as you can see there. I can click on that, and it takes me directly to the cart. And I can always navigate down to the bottom if I wanted to. So that will just about do it for day 5 of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Definitely hop into Slack, share your work in the design feedback section, give feedback to others. Have fun with this challenge because like I mentioned at the beginning, it can go in one of many, many different ways. And I really love seeing when some of you get super creative with how you present each challenge. And we're really trying to solve for the pain point that users don't really understand sometimes how to add or remove products from cart, change the quantity and that sort of thing. So try to think about how to make the experience a little bit better for some of the users. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with day 6 of the Daily Creative Challenge. We also have a great UI and UX week coming up. If you hit the schedule tab right above me, you can see all the awesome guests that we have starting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I'll see you all tomorrow morning bright and early. See you in Slack, and have a good day. Have a great Monday. See you, everyone.